everyone, and welcome back to Velvet Moments. Here we don't rush the story. We don't chase noise or headlines. We pause, we breathe, and we look closer. Because sometimes the most unforgettable moments aren't loud. They don't arrive with dramatic music or bold declarations. They arrive softly, in a glance held half a second too long, in a smile that lingers, in a playful act that feels almost too real. Today we're diving into one of those moments. The kind that feels light and teasing on the surface, but carries something deeper underneath. A story told not through words, but through eye contact, through timing, through the quiet understanding between two people who know each other so well, that even pretending becomes meaningful. So settle in, lower the volume of the world outside, and let's unfold this moment together. Because here at Velvet Moments, we don't just watch the story, we feel it. There has always been something quietly theatrical about them. Not dramatic in the loud, obvious way. Not the kind that demands a spotlight. But subtle. Intentional. Almost playful. Jikook have always loved their little game. The strangers to lovers roleplay that appears out of nowhere and disappears just as quickly, leaving everyone wondering what exactly they just witnessed. Usually begins the same way. A room full of people. Cameras somewhere nearby. Staff moving in the background. The ordinary chaos of schedules and rehearsals. And then, as if they've silently agreed without words, they reset. Jimin walks in first. His expression carefully neutral. Calm. Polite. Jungkook is already there. He glances up. Their eyes meet. And for a split second something flickers. Recognition, warmth, history, but it's quickly replaced by something else. Curiosity. Shyness. The kind you'd expect between two people meeting for the first time. Hello, Jimin says, tilting his head slightly, voice soft and formal. Jungkook straightens almost automatically. Oh, hi. As if they didn't just share years of memories. As if they haven't laughed until 3 a.m. As if they don't know the exact tone of each other's breathing. And that's when it starts. The careful distance. The exaggerated politeness. Jimin offering his hand like a gentleman in an old film. Jungkook pretending to hesitate before taking it. Their fingers linger just a second too long. Army sees it. They always do. It's never over the top. Never obvious enough to accuse. But it's there, in the way Jungkook suddenly becomes quieter, more observant. In the way Jimin softens his voice as if he's trying to impress someone new. Is this your first time here? Jimin might ask, eyes sparkling with mischief. Jungkook shrugs slightly. Yes. I'm a bit nervous. The members around them exchange knowing looks. Because everyone in that room understands the joke. But they let it happen. They always let it happen. And that's what makes it even sweeter. Sometimes their strangers to lovers arc unfolds in stages throughout the day. At first they stand slightly apart, polite smiles, minimal contact. Then slowly, almost imperceptibly, the distance shrinks. A shared laugh. A brush of shoulders. Jungkook offering Jimin a drink without making eye contact, as if it's an act of quiet bravery. Jimin accepting it with a soft, thank you. Jungkook is a sigh. Jungkook is sigh. The formality alone is enough to send fans into chaos. But what makes it beautiful isn't just the teasing. It's the comfort underneath it. Because roleplay like that only works when two people are completely secure in what they already have. There's no tension of uncertainty. No real distance. Just a shared understanding. They know exactly when to lean in and when to step back. There was one moment, subtle, almost easy to miss, when the act shifted. They were sitting side by side after hours of pretending not to know each other. Jungkook was still maintaining his shy persona, answering Jimin carefully as if he was trying to win his approval. Jimin turned to him and asked, "So, do you like music?" Jungkook looked at him for a long second. And in that look the act broke. Just a little. His eyes softened in a way that wasn't part of the script. In a way that carried years of shared studio nights, harmonies layered together, silent encouragement backstage. "Yes," he answered, barely above a whisper. "I like it when we sing together." The word we slipped out naturally. And Jimin smiled, not the playful stranger smile. The real one. The one that says, "I see you." And just like that the storyline evolved. From strangers. To something warmer. That's how it always goes. They never rush the falling part. It's in the micro details. Jungkook gradually sitting closer. Jimin laughing a little louder at his jokes. the formal speech dissolving into casual teasing. At some point, Jungkook stops pretending to be shy and starts pretending to be confident instead, leaning back pretending to flirt. "Oh, you seem comfortable now," Jimin teases. "I adapt quickly," Jungkook replies, smirk barely contained. And there it is. The lovers' stage. But what makes their version special is that it never feels forced. It's playful, soft, full of inside jokes no one else completely understands. Sometimes Jungkook will act like he's seeing Jimin for the first time, staring a little too long, blinking dramatically as if stunned. "Wow, you're really handsome," he'll say with mock sincerity. Jimin will cover his face, pretending to be flustered. "Please, don't say that so suddenly." But he never walks away. He stays. Always stays. And beneath the performance there's something deeper, an ease that can't be faked. When Jungkook adjusts Jimin's jacket mid-roleplay. When Jimin instinctively fixes Jungkook's hair without breaking character. When their laughter overlaps so naturally that the line between acting and reality disappears. It's not about convincing anyone. It's about the joy of playing. The joy of pretending they're at the beginning again. At that fragile, exciting moment when everything feels new. Maybe that's the real charm of their strangers to lovers game. It allows them to relive the spark. To go back to the what if. What if we met today? What if we didn't know each other's favorite songs? What if we had to learn each other all over again? And yet, even in the pretending, they can't help but reveal how well they already know each other. Jungkook anticipates Jimin's reactions before he speaks. Jimin reads Jungkook's mood with a single glance. There's one particular habit that gives it away every time. Whenever Jungkook is deep in his shy stranger act, he avoids direct eye contact. But the moment Jimin laughs, genuinely laughs, Jungkook looks at him automatically. Like he's checking. Like he needs to see it. And Jimin always notices. Always. He'll tilt his head slightly, eyes soft as if silently saying, "I caught you." And Jungkook will quickly look away again, trying not to smile. The fans call it chaos. But it's a very gentle kind of chaos. One built on years of trust. They don't need grand gestures. They don't need dramatic confessions. Their strangers to lovers roleplay exists in glances, in timing, in the quiet electricity of two people who know each other too well, pretending they don't. And maybe that's why it feels so compelling. Because at its core it's not about strangers. It's about rediscovery. About choosing each other again and again, even in play. Sometimes the act ends with exaggerated drama. "Thank you for today," Jimin will say formally, offering a polite bow. "I hope we meet again," Jungkook replies, equally serious. They turn as if to walk away. But then, Jungkook reaches out and lightly grabs Jimin's sleeve. Not part of the script. Or maybe it is. "Wait." Jimin pauses. Turns back slowly. "Yes." Jungkook hesitates just long enough to make it believable. "Can I get your number?" The room erupts in laughter. Jimin pretends to think about it. I'll consider it." But he doesn't pull his sleeve away. And Jungkook doesn't let go immediately. Because even in their fictional first meeting, there's always the same ending. They find their way back to each other. And again. And again. That's the magic of it. Not the roleplay itself, but the comfort that allows it to exist. Two people secure enough in their bond to rewind time for fun. To become strangers for a few hours. To flirt like it's the first day. And then when the cameras fade and the laughter settles, they drop the act. The distance disappears. The formality melts. Jimin leans closer naturally. Jungkook speaks without hesitation. No more Jimin sigh. No more polite bows. Just familiarity. Just warmth. Just them. And maybe that's why fans love watching it unfold. Because beneath the playful strangers to lovers narrative is something steady. Something real. Not dramatic. Not loud. But consistent. The kind of connection that doesn't mind pretending, because it knows it doesn't have to prove anything. In the end, their little roleplay isn't about becoming lovers. It's about remembering that they already chose each other long ago. In friendship, in partnership, in trust. And sometimes the sweetest love stories aren't the ones that start from nothing. They're the ones that playfully begin again, even when they've never truly been apart.